Welcome to On the Move with Nan and Cam. Happy Thursday. We're just having a full house today. We're super excited. We've got 3 guests, which is maybe an On the Move record, I think.
It is. I think so.
Yeah. I don't know how we could fit any more
record.
than 3, but this is an all-time record. So today we are joined by Brad Armstrong, Erin and Annie, his daughters. And we are so excited that they're here. They have done the 10K. Brad is part of our 10K Legacy Club, which is a part of the 10K, or part of the 6.2 crew, that has done the 10K all 25 years. And as everyone knows, we are celebrating 25 years of the Ukrop Monument Avenue 10K. And so we thought, what better way for people to learn about that than from somebody who's done it all 25 years and 2 people who have also almost done it for as many years. So we're just very excited to hear everything you all have to tell us about today. So just quick intro. How did you all, I know, Brad, that you have a long history with sports backers. You've done a ton of our events, very active runner. So how did you kind of get started with your own personal fitness journey and running?
Gosh, I think I started running when I was in college. I'd played a bunch of sports, but in terms of running, I lived right on the cross-country course at UVA when I was in graduate school. And so I decided to go out on that cross-country course, which was a little over 3 miles. And it was a thing I started doing 2 to 3 times a week and just kept it up and kept it up and kept it up. And I found that it was great for my sort of physical health and my mental health in the middle of a high stress time. And I kept it up. And then when Erin and Annie came along, we started running when each of them turned 5.
That's great. That's like goals. Yeah. I feel like nobody showed me that running could be fun for a lot of my childhood. So I feel like that's not normal.
We started just running around the block. And sometimes where we lived, we'd run around the block and we'd stop and pick blackberries as part of the run, which was kind of fun, I think.
Yeah, that's your post-race festival right there. You're just having your snack.
Yeah, and then when Annie got old enough, she started running with us, and the 3 of us would run together. And then we ran together for years and years and years. We did every Monument Avenue 10K together, the 3 of us, until Annie moved to San Francisco. She wasn't able to do a couple of them. She's done almost all of them. By the way, Erin has done every one also.
Erin, I'm so sorry. I should have said you were a 10K
call you a legacy, Erin. Why aren't they calling you legacy? You have to be a certain age and having done them. It's like it's an addition problem.
No, she's part of the legacy. No requirements. Yeah, we need to get both. I think, Brad, you got your button at 10K reveal day, but Annie, we need to get you your, Erin, we need to get you your 10K Legacy Club button.
I'll take a Legacy Club button.
Yeah. I'll come drop one off for you as a thank you for this podcast.
So Brad, what made you want to do, because I know you said you like to run on your own time, what made you want to do the 10K that first year that you signed up?
So I was an original member of Sports Backers. One of the, when it started, I was part of that. And I had talked to John Lugbill a little bit about the Monument Avenue 10K, and it was a chance for me to do a longer run with Erin and Annie. And the 3 of us said, this looks like a fun thing to do. We didn't ever say, let's do it every year, at least not right away, but we decided to do that one. And it was a wonderful experience. The sharing, the togetherness, a beautiful avenue, a beautiful day, all the people, the music playing. I mean, we didn't totally know what to expect, but I think it exceeded every expectation I have. I don't know about Annie, you and Erin, what you think, but it did for me.
Absolutely. I saved the bib for probably 15 years. I think my number was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah, you got to save that.
That goes right next to your legacy button.
Yeah, a shadow box ready to go.
Stuff. Yeah, I think.
Dad, you didn't mention that. What part of the reason was also that your house was on the Monument Avenue path, right? That's right. So for those of us who found our love of running later than others, which I would say of the 3 of us, I'm definitely the late bloomer on that. There was always the question of whether or not we stopped at that.
Yeah.
I was like, looks like I'm done.
What mile is that near? What mile is the house?
You ever actually stopping there?
I didn't. We didn't, but it always felt like it was.
Might have run in and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we could stop for a drink. We run to the bathroom. I think it's important to note that I don't think we ever ran for time.
Yeah.
We ran for togetherness, and whoever was the slowest runner set the pace. And yeah, for a while, it was Annie for a while when she was younger. When Erin was pregnant.
Okay, yeah, that when Erin was carrying a second person with her running.
Yeah, then you need to dictate the pace.
Yeah.
She set the pace, and I had a knee transplant a year ago, and so I walked this past year, and I set the pace. I think I'm setting the pace now forever.
I'm all for extending the time. So
yeah, like you said, if you're doing
we'll
it,
take it real slow.
Yeah, you want it to be fun. Did you all run the whole thing the first year, and was that the longest that you girls had run at that point?
It's the longest I've ever run.
Oh, that makes it even more.
I don't think I've ever run longer than a 10K. Annie's, though, late bloomer that she was, came to running and did marathons.
A marathon, singular, but I appreciate the vote of confidence on the double. But yes, a singular one, and we won't quote the time it took me to do it. But
I'm a singular marathon runner as well. And when I first did one, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to do another one. And that was at this point like 8 years ago. So.
But you're right. We did do the whole thing, and we did the whole thing for a lot of years. And I think only when, one of us had some reason that we couldn't run the whole way did we walk much. And, as I got older and older and older and more infirm, we'd walk a little while. I'd say, I got to walk for a little ways. And they couldn't say no, because our deal is, the slowest sets the pace, and they couldn't say no.
He ran with us when we were 5.
That's right.
Real slow.
Right.
I always think it's so impressive when you see like children. I just think back to myself being a kid, and when you see young kids that are out there doing the whole 6.2 miles, it is really, it's very impressive that but I guess, you're running really fast when you're a kid too. So you just got that extra energy.
Yeah.
So I know that Cameron asked, what made you want to do the first? And so you've obviously seen a lot of change with the 10K, even though it's in some ways hasn't changed. So what has changed about the event that you all have noticed over that 25-year period? And then are there any things that have stayed the same that you like that have stayed the same?
I'll let you guys go first.
Well, the route is something that I think has both changed and stayed the same. It's been really cool to see Monument Avenue evolve as we're running and celebrating that street in all its various incarnations. And I think that is really important and cool that has stayed the same. I also really loved the way that the race adapted to COVID and had opportunities for us to still participate in a meaningful way without risk. I think I'd say, a little better organized at the end and beginning than it was probably the first year. I don't know, Annie, how about you?
I was going to say, I think the sponsorship. I mean, remember the very beginning one from Ukrops, right? And now at the end, it's massive tents and it's a whole celebration. And I mean, that has certainly evolved or matured, I guess. The only other thing I was thinking is we always save all of the T-shirts. And so when you think about the artwork starting from 25 years ago to today, I think that's also an interesting motif or something that you would look at, sort of how the evolution of style and the branding of the race over time. I always had in my mind that I was going to make a quilt out of it. Have you ever seen those quilts where they make them out of T-shirts? Yep. I think that's still on a Christmas list somewhere. I just have to get motivated for it.
We have a lot of people at work that have done that just because of the pure amount of T-shirts that we all have from working here again.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. It's part, a good gift and also for space.
Yeah, no, definitely. Your drawers.
Another thing that, sorry.
I was going to say, I have actually cut the fronts out of some of the T-shirts to save the logo because I didn't have room in all the drawers from that.
Yeah.
So I have a little stack that I want to do something with someday. I don't, we'll see what I do and exactly when I do it. But I've
the
tried to
quilt.
save all of them. I don't know if I have all of them.
Okay.
I wear them. I still wear them to run and do stuff in. So some of them have gotten a little bit ragged, but the artwork has always been really fun. Go ahead.
I think another thing I think that has stayed the same that is really wonderful is the sort of community-based cheering. The people who come out and line the route, and the cheerleaders from schools, and the qigong that I'm not even sure what folks are doing on the side, but it's just beautiful to see all the different bands play, and it gives you a taste of the variety and diversity of Richmond, which I think is another great side benefit.
It adds to the energy of the place too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You just love that. You just love that. And the numbers, the early years, I don't know how many there were, but the early years, there were a lot of people, but not like when we got to whatever it is, 15,000. All of a sudden, really, really crowded. And we have all these waves that we started. We didn't have waves at the beginning, all these waves that we're in now. And but the management of it, I'll tell you what, my hat is off to sports backers for the management of this race, bringing in technology when it made sense, for the automatic timing, just all of the pieces around it. It is so well managed, and it deserves the title of the friendliest run in America. It deserves that title because it really is that from beginning to end.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we love doing it. It's one on staff that is definitely a favorite. I think it's, for a lot of us, it's fun. I love the ones where that so many of your family, friends, loved ones will also be out there, because it makes it even more fun for you to think that you're doing something, that benefits these people that you love. And that's one where people. You're out there and you're you see so many people that you know from somewhere. It just makes it way more fun. When you guys were talking about the branding changing over the years, Cameron is one of our newest employees, and we've been laughing downstairs today all day. She's been looking up some of our old ads and things like that. And she found a year, I guess, do we say
it's 2010. 2010, and we had the branding that year. Our commercials were feet. We were using feet.
Just feet.
With toes, people. It was some people on staff's actual feet that were in the commercials, and Cameron was like, "What was wrong with you guys that you thought that people wanted to see bare feet in a commercial?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it'd be fun to post a throwback." And then the more that I look at it, I was like, "I'm not feeling these feet too much. I don't really
remember that. I remember thinking,
I don't remember that either."
Well, stay tuned. We might repost it. It was so funny though, because we've been hating on it downstairs, and Will Dixon on our staff, he keeps all of the registration records pulled up year over year, and he reminded us that was one of the most successful registration years, and he was like, "Okay, so you can hate on it, but
the feet got the people going." And I'm just like, no, that's okay.
I think they just were
the feet had a lot to do with getting the people there.
Right. Another thing that we noticed, because we were going through old photos, was that when you said that Ukrop was handing out bagels in the earlier years, I think it was 2005, 2006, we used to hand out cans of soup. Yeah, as opposed to a snack. And I was like, I don't know, where were they eating the soup out of can, as their snack, cold? I'm not sure.
Just had a can opener station.
And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that one. Decisions were made, but I don't know.
Come a long way.
Yeah, we have come a long way.
And we always love to see at the end of the race what the snacks are, what the treats are. They change a little bit over time. And it's funny, you see some people that take their bag, they bring a bag and fill it up with treats, and they go home with this whole big bag full of
a bunch of rolls. And
we used to do our free sample trading after the race.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. Off for samples, energy bars. And I think it's actually a really good idea to have a wide range of stuff, because not everybody wants a banana and a roll.
Right.
An energy bar.
And for those of us who are not going for time, when people would go and load up on everything, we'd be like, oh man, that would have been really great if we had gotten that smoothie. But whoever we were waiting for with the knee replacement, all we had was brown banana.
When we got there. Oh yeah. That was okay. One thing I have to add to this is that one of the joys of running with Erin and Annie has always been the conversations that we have. We always talk when we run. We don't run so fast that we can't talk. We always talk. And we always go from topic to topic to topic in a really easy kind of way. And we're really honest. There's a lot of truth telling that has happened over the years on our runs. And that's true for the Monument Avenue 10K as well, too. You have a lot more topics because it's going to take longer. But we will go and I'll say, I have a topic. And then Annie will say, I have a topic. And Erin will say, well, I have a topic. And we'll share stuff with each other. And we generally had an agreement that, what's said on the runs stays on the runs.
Ooh.
And
that was true when we were growing up too. And I'll say for anybody listening with teen kids, I believed it and it was true. And I could tell him things that I wouldn't have normally told him. And I think that was a really safe space and a healthy place.
Yeah. And also because you're not looking at each other, right? You're next to each other, but you're looking at a shared destination, I guess, so I think that's also creates a good sharing safe space.
And it's hard.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's hard to find dedicated time, especially for teenagers. And I bet especially now with social media and everything else, just hard to find that dedicated time. And this was a way that we had the dedicated time. And there was no distraction. I mean, you had to talk to me.
Yeah, right.
You had no choice. It was my way of finding out what was going on.
Yeah. I want to run with you all. I'm a big talker when I run, and that is a bunch of us run together at the office, and the same, 3 of us have done training team together all the time, and we always talk about that. We'll come with prepared topics. Everybody will tell each other, we'll text each other and be like, everybody come with 2 things to distract us and talk about it. And I think that is the conversations range from very serious to not serious at all, but it is that thing of, I think you're out there for a while, and there is more of a vulnerability when you're not you've got time to fill and there are no distractions and you're not looking right at each other.
But your endorphins are up.
Yeah, and the endorphins are up. Do you remember though, Erin and Annie? Remember when we all had dogs?
Yeah.
And we would all 3 run with our dogs. That was a distraction.
That was probably our slowest times, actually. We would get all wrapped up with each other, and
the dogs would run around us, and they'd wrap the leashes together, and they would, be doing stuff with each other. But we did that. We'd run real early in the morning, and we'd all get our dogs, and they'd have a great workout.
That's a moving twister.
Yeah, that's a lot of coordination.
That is. Especially trying to talk and do that at the same time and pay attention, and that's a lot.
Yeah, that was
one thing I do want to add before we conclude is our kids. Annie and I now have the next generation of little athletes coming up, and my son Miles has participated with us. Annie's daughter is an athlete, and we.
I haven't even had the chance to tell you guys that Francis and I are going to come in for the Monument Avenue this year.
You are?
Yes. It'll be her 13th birthday, so we're going to.
Oh my gosh, that's so great, Annie.
Oh, Annie, that is so good. I will register you. I'll go ahead. I'll take care of the registration for both of them.
That's the deal. He has to pay for it. I'll fly.
That's right.
There. Yeah.
I pay for all the registration. Yeah. And I registered Erin and Miles, grandson Miles, and now I'll register you and Francis. That is so good.
That'd be great.
It's going to be great.
That'll be the first time of all of us with Miles and Francis.
Exactly right.
That's great. We're going to have to find a way to find you on the course because that's adorable.
Yeah, just look for us right at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we'll be bringing up every year. Yeah. There'll be a car behind us, probably.
The pacer.
Yeah.
All right, you got to open up the streets now, people.
I like it when we're in the wave that gets to see the finisher as we're leaving.
As we're walking, yes, exactly. We're like, yes.
Yeah.
They're already done. Yeah.
Come on,
How
we
old
are
was fun.
that
How
slow.
old is
We are-
Miles?
No, we don't go that slow. I'm just
We don't go that slow.
How old is Miles? I heard you say the other one's turning 13. How old is Miles?
Miles is 15.
Oh, it's
Okay.
15. I don't know why I was expecting him to be like a young kid. I was like, oh, okay, let me get but Miles is a teenager too.
Yeah.
So I guess you kind of led me into what the next question was going to be with when you were talking about, some of your favorite memories was what are your most memorable moments of doing the race together? So I guess obviously being able to talk to each other and be open with each other during the race, but are there any other moments that kind of stood out to you or like things that you saw or experienced?
Well, I have one to make fun of. If we want to start with funny, one year Dad wore a like icebreaker, like ski under armor ski thing, like that had like a mock neck, long sleeves. And thank God you lived on the race because you remember how you were just profusely sweating out of this thing. It like was not breathing on him at all. And we were like,
it was a cold morning, but he did dress for Arctic temperatures.
It was cold, and we were like, I really think we should actually slow down. Like, I mean, it was like we had a veins and like we stopped and changed your shirt. I do remember that at the house.
We did, yeah. I was not sure I was going to survive. I was so hot. Oh,
you were alarmingly red.
I was alarmingly red. Thank you.
Was it one of those weird mornings that started? I mean, because it's Virginia spring, so was it one that started out cold and then you were just like, "What was I thinking?"
Definitely, we'll give them. Well, sure. Exactly. It was definitely what happened. It was freakishly cold in the morning, and then got.
It wasn't my fault. That's
one of my favorite memories is a little game that we play that maybe Annie wants to share. That we just make sure happens at every run, which is somebody's getting Gatorade dumped on their head. And probably everybody's getting Gatorade dumped on their head.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Every run.
And the people around us really appreciate that.
Every race.
Yeah.
Every race. I thought it was like every training run. We're just going to dump Gatorade. Okay.
We'll grab them
like every water stop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly. So we'll grab them, then pretend like we're going to drink them, and then try to toss it on the other person, which only
before they evade.
60% gets on that person versus the people who happen to be running next to us.
So we're getting better at dodging it. I now realize the meanness of this tradition, and so I'm getting better at dodging it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see if I'll watch them get the Gatorade or the water, and they'll just kind of hold it and kind of be looking, and I go, I know what this is all about.
Are you going to tell our teenagers that's what's going to happen this year, or are you going to sneak it in?
We're going to initiate them.
Oh, we're going to initiate them. They're going to get it.
Okay.
I'll tell you my favorite moment, honestly, in the race, and I love so much of it, and the running, the seeing people, blah, blah. The thing that I love the most is finishing. And we usually finish by holding hands. The three of us will hold hands as we cross. And there's something about that. I guess because we finished it and we're tired and out of breath, but there's something about that sort of semi-triumphant moment for me, and holding hands with these two women that I love so much. There's just something really special about that it is my favorite moment, if I had to say.
That's a good one. I have one more funny one. I'm sorry, because we should have ended on the poignant one, but I have to give it. You guys can splice them if you want.
Edit it. Yeah.
But do you remember? So there's also the part where we would run to the end, but then Erin and I would start sprinting, really try to finish like the 1 second, so that when it publishes, somebody beat the other. And do you remember the year I switched our little electronic tickets and then let you win?
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
I forgot about that. It was a genius move. I had to applaud your style.
It is.
I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Yeah. So we'd go through the camera, holding hands a lot. And then at the very last minute,
Yeah, it was always the camera was where we wanted to make sure that we got our. Yeah.
But then at the very last second, they would take off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's for 5 yards left, just so they'd get 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second better.
Sisters.
I've matured.
Great.
I've matured.
I don't care about that.
I don't think you should mature. You should try it again this year. Right. Just see if she's wised up.
No, now I need to put it on Francis or Miles, right? Francis or Miles. Yeah, right?
So you talked a little bit about how much it's meant to your family over the years, and then some of these, like the holding hands together that you do over the finish line. Are there any other traditions that you all have done, whether like in race prep or training or anything, or even during the actual race?
Pasta dinner.
Yeah.
Carbo load.
Yeah, carbo load before the race. Always been
a great tradition.
Yeah.
Always been a tradition, and really fun. That was a joyful time too, just as much. Looking forward to the next day. We've done some other races. We did a 10K down at Virginia Beach, and then we would go down. Funny story. We went down to Virginia Beach to run I can't remember what the race was called, the Shamrock, and so we went down to run the Shamrock, and we stayed in this house that was not exactly near the start.
Oh.
And we overslept. We had to run to the start line. And we're running to the start line, and all the people that had already started are running in the other direction. We've got our bibs, and they go, "You're going in the wrong direction."
No, I'm sure. No. Yes.
We'd already run like a mile.
Yeah.
By the time we
started, I know.
Very warmed up.
It was the longest 10K in our lives.
Yeah. 7.2 that
right.
day.
We stayed up too late the night before, having too much fun.
Yeah.
So why do you guys think that this event has had the staying power that it has now? Like, why do you think that we've been able to, get it to 25 years?
I'm looking at the legacies.
To me,
yeah, that's a good one.
It was so born out of an organic community, like it wasn't a national organization bringing a race to Richmond. It was a local organization sponsored by a local business featuring a local iconic street. And it was just very much of the city and the region. And I think that was something that was unifying for an often divided town. And I think that has continued.
I agree. Richmonders love Richmond a lot.
Yeah, well said. I think it's a fabulous venue. It's run so well and so professionally. And it has always had sponsors that were well respected within this community. And when you get that combination, well run, fabulous venue, sponsors that everybody respects, you're going to have continuity. And the time of year is also a great time of year. Often the daffodils are blooming, and and sometimes it's cold, but often it's just beautiful. And and with music, the experience is something that everybody who's done it has said, "I loved it. Yeah, I just loved it."
Yeah, when you said the thing about sponsors and local businesses with that too, it is wild. This is our only event that has had the same title sponsor for all 25 years. So Bobby Ukrop is in the 10K Legacy Club as well. And we have a bunch of other sponsors, like Kroger's been with us since 2017, so they're getting up there as well. But I mean, it's just amazing that we've had with how much support Ukrops has given us over the year. And they're such a identifiable name in Richmond that has definitely helped. I mean, I think people have such a warm feeling towards them that it's a great partnership for something that's so community driven. So they've just been a great asset to us.
I do think also that the training teams and the sort of energy around preparation has really, really helped improve participation too. And that, I think that's been a real part of it.
Cameron's going to do her first training team this year.
Good for you, Kim.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Hey, congratulations.
I'm nervous. I am all of the above, but
You got this.
Everybody's said great things about it, so
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're going to have a ball. And by the way, the costumes are fun too.
Yes.
I love seeing what the next thing is, and I'll never forget when we were all running together, and we saw a guy who carried an American flag like this the entire time. And I've tried to do some of that, carrying a flag, and it's really hard to do.
I can imagine.
I know.
I mean,
There's a couple
really
guys
hard
that
to
ran
do.
the marathon like that, and I was like, oh my goodness.
With a rucksack and a flag.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, it's great to see the teams and, people who are, supporting cancer survivors or people going through some sort of illness. It's the Brad team, in support of somebody that's going through difficulty. I just love seeing that. So the positive energy around this race is great. And I don't view it as, I know it is a race, and I view it as it's a run, and it's an experience, and it's a treasure for me.
What are the plans for this year? Well,
they're changing as of 5 years
evolving.
So we're gonna have a carbo load the night before.
Yep.
And figure out who's gonna take us there. So we don't have to worry about parking, and who's gonna pick us up, and work out the logistics, and now we're gonna have 5 of us running together. So
very
five abreast is gonna be like a roadblock. We're going to be careful. We'll have to be careful about that.
You're really going to have to swing that Gatorade if you're trying to hit somebody.
Yeah.
So.
Hey,
A long shot.
They don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. There are 3 of us, 3 of them. We own them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's going to be
done it before.
2 of them.
2 of them. I was going to say, but we'll bring Violet next time.
Yeah.
Bring her for her 13th birthday.
Exactly. There you go. I like that. That's a good idea.
You can start doing this when you're a teenager.
Yeah. I was about to say 13.
Rite of passage.
Yeah.
A rite of passage, right? That's a good idea.
Well, this has been great. I think we are ready to hit the this or that's, which, like we told you, are 10K themed. So they're just meant to be fun, quick hitting.
Yeah.
So I'll kick it off. First one is, and I think, but we know the answer to this after talking to you, but are you training or winging it? There's some crazy people out here that just go on out to that start line day of, and doesn't matter if they have run in a year, in 6 weeks, in 6 days, they're going. So which one are you all?
Winging.
Okay.
Winging.
I'm going to say it's a blend, because it's not like we don't run over the course of the year or exercise over the course of the year.
Oh, you're going for the definition? You're going to have to clarify the definition of winging it versus training. Then we can answer
and make your own definition.
They have their own plan, obviously. For
you see what I have to put up with?
I'm sorry. Can you clarify the this or that question, please?
We're not formally training. We did a couple for some of the early years. We did. We always wanted to have at least 1 or 2 5-mile or more runs before we ran the thing. But in recent years, we've given that up. Because
when you get 25 years, you're a pro. You can do that.
Because when we ran together, we would always run 3 or 4 miles together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our thing. And then we would, the 10K was usually a bit of a stretch for us, but it wasn't like we couldn't do it.
Okay. Second one, we kind of talked about this one too. Are you, with your little bag, are you smushing all those White House rolls into your bag and taking off? Or are you going to brunch after? So are you housing those rolls and scarfing them down? Or are you waiting and then going to brunch?
Brunch after.
Is both an option?
Yeah.
We can really complicate this or that.
We do too. That's why we like it. That's why it's our favorite part. When we play it against each other on this podcast, like half of the time is just us debating this or that.
We do a
little bit of both, though.
But that too.
Yeah. I'm usually eating some of those samples.
Quick snack.
Okay. Yeah. I don't.
But then we go and have.
Then we go eat.
and talk about how cool we are because we did the Monument Avenue 10K.
Yeah.
What's the preferred brunch destination? Is there a normal one, or have you bopped around?
No.
If we see any available tables along our path to where we're leaving, how we're leaving, we'll grab it.
So I guess, are you guys the people who wear, like, if you go straight after, do you wear your medal to brunch?
Definitely.
Yeah,
perfect.
Bib.
I love seeing those pictures.
Usually do. It's getting hard to keep all the medals.
I bet. When you're in that Legacy Club, they start stacking up.
It's a heavy weight.
Plus Miles, grandson Miles, I have a room that's here that's the grandkids' room, and he leaves all of his medals here, so I got medals going to bed.
Oh, goodness.
You're gonna have to get on Pinterest
start doing that too.
What metal art you can make or whatever creative ways to display medals.
So that's a great idea. I do some welding, and I might weld them all together into some really cool something or the other.
It's a great idea.
That sounds cool.
Okay. That's a project.
Is that going to be before or after the cutouts of all the T-shirts and whatever you're going to do with those?
We got a lot of crap.
That sounds cool.
That's feeling judgmental to me. I think there's some critical part of that comment. I refuse to answer.
She's not going to be judgmental when she wants metal artwork when it turns out great.
True.
And
I'm
then she wants.
I don't remember saying that.
Legacy
Club. Yeah. Do you have that on a podcast or something? I don't remember saying that.
I'm going to make this quilt out of these, all of these logos, and then you guys will have to fight over it. I'll leave it to both of you. And you'll have to fight.
You'll have to race it out at the 10K.
Yeah.
We'll split it into 2 napping blankets.
Exactly.
All right, your last one is, are you going for speed, or are you soaking it up and enjoying the spirit groups?
Soaking it up.
Soaking it up.
Totally soaking it up.
It's the way it should be done, in my opinion, as well.
Totally soaking it up.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful day. Such a beautiful event. There's lots to soak.
Yeah.
Yes. Annie, do you know how many you've done?
I don't know.
Okay. I can look it up. I can figure that out.
You have registered, right?
Yeah. I think you've done at least 20, but I don't think it's more than 20.
You think I haven't been back for 5? I came back from the one from Australia, I think, right? No, that was the one. I also missed one there. I would guess it's less than 20, but you guys would know.
And there's one year, it's why I don't come up as a legacy, where we were both registered and I accidentally wore her number. And that is that's where it has, so it'll have your number, pictures of Dad and me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not on the all 25-year list because it looks like I didn't run that year.
But it looks like I did, but you didn't, and that's never been the case. Every time I run,
I did.
All right, I'm going to see if I can get that fixed for you because we can't have you not be part of the legacy communication.
Oh, thanks. That's kind of you. It's okay if it doesn't work.
Didn't you try to do that?
You did at some point, I think.
I did send a note. But anyway,
you didn't know who to talk to.
I'm probably going to be the person that's sending out any legacy communication. So even if I don't officially get it fixed, I'll just CC you in.
Yeah, you're in there.
I can guarantee you
all confidential.
Yeah,
all in the family.
I guarantee you that she's run all of them because I've had Gatorade dumped on my head.
Every one of your shirts has a blue streak. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great. Thank you all so much. I think this is so fun, and I loved hearing how much it's meant to your family. I think that this is something that there's lots of families like this, and I think as we think about people doing it for the next 25 years, it can just show them that it's so much more than a race or an event. So it's really special, and I'm glad that you all are still running with us.
Well, we will until we can't.
Yeah.
And then you've got Francis and Miles. So
Francis and Miles, right? And they promised that when I can't even walk anymore, they'll push me. We'll see if that comes to pass.
It's on this podcast now, like you said.
They're committed, right? You guys will push me if I have to be.
Yeah. We love the race, and we'll see you guys on race day.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Well,
thank you. Great talking to you.
Thanks. Great to talk to you. Nice to meet you. Goodbye.
Erin, I love you both.
Love you guys.
Love you, Dad. Love you, Annie.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.